Hey, welcome to Go for Lunch. Glad you could join us today, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And we're going to talk about something that is probably near and dear. I'm not sure it's dear, but it's near to all of our hearts. And that is passwords, or the lack thereof, which we are calling passwordless. So, I'm Roger Harmon with GoFor Technology. This is Go for Lunch number 105. And here at Go for Technology, our motto, our goal, our mission is to make your technology work for you. So we're going to talk about one way that may be coming up in the future. So some companies that you may have heard of, like Microsoft, Apple, and Google, have joined together in what is called the FIDO Alliance. So what does FIDO mean? It stands for Fast Identity, kind of fudged there a little bit, online. Fast Identity Online is FIDO. So in early 2020, Apple joined the FIDO Alliance as a board member. So who else is involved here in this FIDO Alliance? Well, let's look at the list. And let's hope the website cooperates. There. Nope, it's not cooperating. So this has happened to me before. So I have to go around and do some funny little things here, like go back into the FIDO members page, and then they appear. So here you can see Amazon, American Express, Apple, Bank of America, CVS, Google, and the ING. You may have insurance with those folks. Intel, Lenovo, MasterCard, Meta, which is, of course, Facebook's new parent company. There's Microsoft. Here's PayPal. And we've got Samsung, Qualcomm, USAA, a bunch of different security companies that you may not have heard about. Visa, Wells Fargo, and Ubico, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. And then they have the next level, which are called sponsors. We have 1Password. Again, some other types of companies. Here's Alibaba. And we've got more security companies, Chase Bank, CompuSecure. Almost looked like CompuServe there for a second. We've got eBay, Discover Card, Fidelity, IBM Security. We have Jamf, Intuit, M&T Bank, Mozilla, which is the parent company of Firefox, Netflix, and then down here we have some more companies. Again, some security companies. Here's SoftBank, which is not really a bank. Sony, another security company, Trust Stamp. And then we have US Bank, Twitter, Verizon, Vanguard. And then we have government agencies around the world. This is the National Institute of Technology, which is the division of the U.S. Department of Commerce. So as you can see, there's a bunch of people that are signed on to this, but not everybody. So how does this thing work? Well, again, let's go back to their website and see. Okay, so first of all, you have to register. So that's a one-time process for each website that you're going to go to. So you start off with your device, and then you indicate on your device that you approve of this registration process, and a key, an encrypted key, is created. So then this is your private key, and then that is linked to a public key on the website. And this process is all encrypted. Nobody else can do this unless they have physical they physically have your device. So when you go to log in after you've registered, again, you start with your device, you approve the login, then your key matches with the key on the website, and you're in. And so you didn't have to put in a password through this whole process. So that is how it works. So the FIDO Alliance proposal is that trusted devices should replace passwords. So no more of those passwords that are hard to remember. So in Apple's two-factor authentication, 2FA, you use Apple devices. When you try to sign into a new Apple device with your Apple ID, Apple sends you a code to a trusted device and you enter that code. That's that 6-digit number that you get. You've all probably gone through that. So then you log into a website with your iPhone, for example, and you would enter only your username, and it would then send the authentication request to one of your other devices, such as your Apple Watch. You would just tap on your Apple Watch to authorize. Then when you're accessing a service on your Mac, you would also be able to approve it on the iPhone. So you've got two devices there. So why is FIDO 2? Now obviously FIDO 2 indicates that they've gone through FIDO 1. So they're continually improving this, making it more secure and hopefully easier to use. Well, it's secure because a hacker would have to have your iPhone and its passcode as well as your Mac and its password. So if they have all of those things, you've got bigger trouble than signing into websites. So what if you don't have an iPhone? Well, there are other ways to log in with third-party hardware devices. So here's that company I mentioned earlier, Yubico, and these are called Yuba keys. So you can see they come in different varieties. Here's the USB-A, the old-fashioned USB style connector, USB-C, the new USB connector, and then a USB-A and USB-C. They call these nanos because basically what they do is they fit into the side of your laptop and they don't stick out very far, so they can't be broken off. But they're not the only company that's doing this. This company, I have no idea who this company is or how good they are. I just like the design of this FIDO key. And you can see some other companies here that use it, USB-A, USB-C, and then some other ones. Some of these keys will work with NFC, which is the communication system that allows you to, it's called near field communication, NFC. That's how you can use your phone or your watch to pay for things in a store. And again, you can see variations with USB-A and USB-C. And the Yubico also has a version that has a lightning connector to plug into your iPhone and also a USB-C. So I just happen to have one of those right here. So if we can get this to focus, I'll show you a couple other things. Hello. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'll get this right in a second. So you can see here on the top is the lightning, I should say, and on the bottom is the USB-C. And here in the middle is a hole that you could put this on your keychain. Wouldn't that be handy? Now, what you couldn't see in those other pictures is on the side here, you see this little gold contact, and there's one on each side. So let's go down here and see if we can get that to focus. So it gets you, I think you get the idea. So the way that works, to do the actual authentication, you would just do a pinching action, and with one finger and your thumb touching that contact on each side at the same time in a pinching action. Pinch, pinch. then that's how you would activate it. And then here is the USB-A, and this one you activate it by hitting the gold circle, and again there's a hole for your key. So that is the Yubico. Now you want to make sure you get, if you just decide to be an early adopter here, you want to get the 5 series from YubiKey. They have some earlier series that are not compatible anymore, and they may be on sale, so don't be lured in by what you think is a bargain. Make sure you get the series 5. Okay, so while doing the research for this program, I got the idea that the Apple support is a work in progress. I read some things on the internet in various forums. One, for example, said he was able to register his, in this case, his YubiKey, and everything worked fine until he rebooted his computer, and then it didn't work anymore. So I would not encourage you to jump into this just yet, but the whole idea of our YouTube Live today is to raise your awareness, because you're going to see this a lot in the news on the internet and so forth. So watch for announcements from your bank and other financial institutions. As you noticed when we went through all the companies that are so far on board with the FIDO Alliance, a lot of banks are there already, but some banks aren't there already. So this is still gaining momentum, and with all of the hype that's going on right now on the internet, hopefully that will encourage these other companies to get on board. So that is a brief overview of FIDO 2 and what is coming down the line. Again, I just wanted to let you know what this is all about, because you're going to be hearing about it, but I'll caution you not to jump in just yet, especially on the Apple side, because there's some work that Apple needs to do in the background to make this work as seamlessly as we expect. In other words, we want it to just work. So a little reminder here, we're going to get your questions and comments in a second. Please forward the GoFor Gazette, which comes out at about 7 o'clock every Monday morning, to anybody that you know that uses Apple devices. And don't forget to subscribe, and that helps us, lets YouTube know that people are interested in our content, and that way we get known to more people, and we can help more people that way. So that is the whole idea around subscribing. And if you hit that little bell when you subscribe down there, you will be notified when we go on the air. So I see that Phyllis and Phil have joined us, and Susan says, I guess your executor will have access to everything after your death. Well, yes, so that's a good question. That's what we call your digital legacy. We're going to be talking about that on future editions of Go for Lunch. And yes, you should leave that hardware key, the access to that, known to your executor of your estate. Does this put 1Password out of business? And the answer to that is no. This will work with 1Password, so that you don't have to enter a whole bunch of new passwords. So they work in tandem, you might say. So Kurt adds that personal biometrics, such as your fingerprint, will work instead of the physical key. Yeah, if your personal biometrics are on your watch or on your phone, then yes. But without your phone or your watch, then you would need that hardware key to with a little sensor here in the center to activate it. I hope that answers your question, Kurt. If not, please add to your question and I will try to answer that. So again, this is something that's coming down the pike, whatever the pike is, and I want you to not jump into it. Don't be on the bleeding edge of technology like I usually am, and I will be bringing you more information on FIDO as we get it, and hopefully when I looked on the Apple website, I couldn't find very much at all from Apple. So mostly what I found was a bunch of apps on the App Store, the iOS App Store, that use the FIDO in some way or another. But as far as integrating with Safari and your different applications using your Apple devices, that information was very much absent at this point. So I want you to be aware and don't jump in before we get this smoothed out with Apple and they get their act together, basically. So if there's no more questions, I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's always good to get together. And remember, we will be back here next Tuesday at high noon for another GoFor Lunch. If you have questions in the meantime, please call me or email me, and that information is right here.